The Fresno Police Department is going beyond attention-grabbing headlines. It's working to reveal the human side of law enforcement, showcasing the empathy, restraint, and complexity that rarely make it into the daily stories. So on this Wired Wednesday, GV Wire reporter Anthony Haddad joins us live from the GV Wire studios in Fresno to share his experience with a recent ride-along. Anthony, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So with that being said, you were in that ride-along. What surprised you the most during your ride-along?
Yeah, absolutely. So usually I saw Cops on TV, the show where they're really just jumping into houses. It's action-packed. There's so many things happening all at once. So I kind of went in with the impression that, oh, we need to start running. I need to put on my running shoes, get everything together just in case I needed to sprint away. What surprised me the most was the quiet. It wasn't necessarily quiet as in sound, but the demeanor, the calm of the officers. My first call, jumped in the car, the sirens were blaring, we're heading to an apparent overdose. I'm in knots, I'm freaking out, but my officer was so calm, almost serene. It really felt as if she calmed the situation just by being there. That was the most surprising thing, was that we weren't just running into houses, there was a calmness between every moment.
Now, one thing to note here is the footage we just showed is file footage, but we're going to move on to that overdose call that you just mentioned. You admitted to stepping out of the room during that overdose call, that raw moment of panic. What did that moment teach you about your own limits as a reporter?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the times us reporters, we're getting news releases from agencies and we're able to get that information, give a story and put it out to the public. But actually being there in the room, seeing somebody curled up on the ground, seeing a victim, a real person actually going through this experience is much different than just words on a page. It really showed the humanity behind it all. And I feel like for a lot of us, especially those that really love to watch true crime or any type of crime documentary, we're kind of desensitized. But when you're there actually in the moment and what you can do, just even stepping out of the way could allow more emergency personnel to walk in, it means life or death for some of these situations. And it showed that I need to be thinking about that while I'm writing these pieces. It's not a race to the finish line. It's someone's life. It's somebody's story. And I feel like, especially audience members that may be into those true crime documentaries, we need to continue to recognize that and realize that.
And I want to stay on that subject of that feeling, because in your piece, you describe moments of unexpected warmth between officers and residents, even those being detained. How do you reconcile those interactions with the broader conversations that millennials are having about systemic reform and police accountability?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can have both, where we have accountability and reform and we can ask for those things, but we also need to recognize the humanity in between it all. We see, when I was out there on Wednesday, I saw officers almost treating these detained like friends. They've never met each other. Some officers might have, but these officers were there doing a job, protecting their community. And we can't just make a general call for change when we see sometimes officers might not be doing the right things, but we don't see the officers doing the right things all the time. Again, those headlines we're seeing when an officer gets arrested. We're not seeing the officer picking up the person off of the ground. So I think we can really go with both.
Yeah, and I want to go to that final question. I know I have to wrap it up, but real quickly if you can, because your final reflection talked about millennials being skeptical of authority but still wanting to feel safe. What does the real public safety look like to you, not just as a reporter, but as a millennial living in Fresno, if you can, real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about public trust. I believe that the law in policing is not black and white, and the officers really keep the gray area together. And we really need to live in that space with them and try to understand what is going on to the best of our ability. And also reach out to the police department. They love to talk with the citizens here. So if you do have questions, they're open to it.
That sounds good. Anthony Haddad with GV Wire. Great day. We'll be right back.